This is Goldbridge, De Gea to sign a new contract.
The most relevant news, which is coming out this morning,
So much
and it's coming
controversy
out in
around
relation
this.
to David De Gea. So
I'm
David De
interested to
Gea
see what Mark's going to say.
recognises that he must take a salary reduction to stay at Manchester United,
Because I know
but
he's
feels that his
very pro De
performances
Gea.
this season still rank him as one of Ten Hag's most important players, and
I might not be.
remuneration should follow accordingly. During the season, Ten Hag has come to appreciate David De Gea's worth and is happy for him to be his goalkeeper for future years.
Seems
The
like a
sense is that
decent
he feels
professional,
other
doesn't he?
positions require strengthening first, specifically centre forward. This is all coming in via Laurie Whitwell.
Like, you never really heard of him having dressing room bust ups and stuff. He seems to get on with all the players, which irritates some people. How he's always hugging opposition players and all sorts, like all Spanish players, even though he's not in the Spanish team, but he was.
Effectively, there is
But
David De Gea has turned down Manchester United's first
seems like
offer
he
of a
gets
new
on with
contract,
everyone.
but at this stage, negotiations are expected to reach a positive conclusion.
It's interesting
Also
though that this first
Tony
contract's
Coton,
been rejected.
has been, who is United's chief goalkeeping scout, has been scouting Europe for 6 months and is not yet completely sold on a replacement, especially at the prices being mentioned.
Stop the cap. Stop that whole. You can be De Gea's biggest fan, but don't tell me you can't scout the entire world for a better goalkeeper. I get what they're saying at the prices. The prices might be quite high, but I feel like this might just be negotiation tactics. I don't know. I always have my transfer tinfoil hat on when I
And Ten Hag
see
has
all of
given
these reports.
blessing for David De Gea to continue as Manchester United's number one. So that's going to
That's
upset
big.
Beth this morning.
That's big.
And also
About
it's
him
gonna
being
upset
number
a
one
lot
still.
of
I
other
thought he
people, I
might get a new
suppose, as
contract
well.
to be
I mean,
number two.
let's do a little bit of a poll here. It is a live and interactive show. George Kyle says sack Tony Coton.
Yeah, fully. Yeah, you've got to
just
sack this
dissecting
scout.
that because
If
there's a
you
lot
can't
to
find
get
anyone,
into
you've
on
got
the
to
show
be
today.
sacked right now.
Effectively, what the situation is that David De Gea is negotiating a new contract with Manchester United. It's normal that there's a bit of back and forward, and at the moment there's obviously a bit of back and forward over the wages.
He's on 300,000 a week. I said before I wouldn't offer him any more than 100,000. Obviously, he's not going to accept that though. So we'll see how much they eventually pay him. Obviously, you can do like with the bonus with the appearances. I think that's what the club are going for. But I also think the club are going for to have him as number two. So he wouldn't be paid that salary for the bonuses. Do you see what I'm saying? We'll see.
David De Gea is currently on 350k a week. United
350. It's worse than I thought. It's worse. It's worse. Get him out.
want to take it down
Get
to
him out.
250, and I think De Gea is probably
200. Listen, I'm not going to say anything.
just trying to get the best wage you can get. There's no problem with that. We were talking about it with Rashford.
Of course, yeah.
The more important updates, there's two of them. First
Jeez,
of all,
like,
Ten Hag.
have we not learned our lesson? Giving older players high contracts. Think of Rooney. You shouldn't have given him that 300k contract. If you give De Gea anywhere near that, of course, goalkeepers peak different times to players like Rooney, who ran his socks off since the age of 16. However, to me, I don't think he's going to improve that much more. I don't think he's worth giving all of that money to.
Hag has assessed David De Gea across the season and realised what an important player he is, and he wants him to stay as his number one. And number 2 point is that United have.
That's crazy to me. I can't believe Ten Hag ball having De Gea and like moving forward. I think it's more just price related.
Especially
they don't have the budget for other players, and keepers not a priority, I guess.
At times, and I'm sure many of you feel like this. It's almost at times that I feel that I'm completely in tune with Eric Ten Hag. And it's such a satisfying feeling to have because it's been so frustrating over the last 10 years having managers that just do weird things that you would never do. Mourinho, Solskjaer.
It's true, it's true.
Moyes,
I hear what you're saying.
Things that you just go, why are you doing that? What are you doing? Whereas with Ten Hag, 95% of the time, he does things that I agree with.
I actually doubt that's true. Weghorst playing centre, attacking mid. Nobody saw that coming. Everyone thought, what the hell is he doing there? Why is he there? Playing Bruno right mid, everyone's like, what's Bruno doing on the right, getting back in the middle? Playing Jadon Sancho centre attacker mid. What's Jadon Sancho doing there? He was bought as a right winger. Don't play him in the middle. Don't play him on the left. Play him on the right. I mean, even Luke Shaw at centre back, I can guarantee the people were like, what's he doing? I haven't seen all of Mark's things, but I doubt he's on the same page. I think it's more the club and Murta, which is the things that he's agreeing with.
Even if it's little things like valuing Martial when he's actually fit, you'll hear Ten Hag do it.
100%, I agree with that.
I agree with him about David De
100%.
Gea. I said this at the start of the season. There was this debate about whether De Gea is good enough to be Manchester United's number one, and it's
Just if
raged
you
all
weren't
season.
wondering, guys,
And I've been a firm
I do not
backer
believe
of
he
David De
is
Gea being our
good enough to be
goalkeeper
our number
because I
one
think
moving forward.
there's two principles for me. You don't
We'll see what
fix
Mark's
what's
saying.
not broke, and also I think that being a Man United goalkeeper ain't easy, and he's got the experience to
True.
do it. So,
True.
but I said at the start of the season, it will.
This is one of the things, actually, with someone like my number one choice, and probably my only, well, I'm not a scout, but from what I've seen, the one keeper I want is Diogo Costa. And we saw him at the World Cup. He did kind of bottle it on the big stage, but he's already had huge games in the Champions League for Porto. Saving penalties, sweeping, ball playing. He's got the lot. Like, if there's any chance of getting him, 70 million, whatever, pay it. Liverpool did it for Alisson. I think Alisson was a bigger impact for Liverpool than Virgil van Dijk. So that's how much I
It'll be up to
value
it'll be up to David
goalkeepers.
De Gea and
So
it'll be up to Eric Ten Hag primarily to assess this season and see if he needs to change the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper is a very important position, especially in the Ten Hag system.
yep. And this is exactly what Pep Guardiola did. First thing, get out Joe Hart, Claudio Bravo, in you come, and then Edison, then upgraded. I don't know whether Ten Hag would do something similar, actually. Get rid of De Gea, bring in a cheaper goalkeeper, and then eventually get a more expensive one. We'll see. I think he does value De Gea, though, so I think he'd rather keep De Gea as a number two. But what we're hearing now, he wants him as a number one.
He's obviously looked at it.
I just
and
can't get
gone,
my head around it.
I'm more than happy with
Personally.
what the job David De Gea does. You know, he's made some amazing saves this season. And I suppose that what goes in tandem with that is that to replace David De Gea could cost you next season, and it would also cost you 50, 60 million quid, which could be spent and should be spent on centre-back, midfielder and attacker. So logically, I think it's the best decision for everybody. David De Gea is a safe pair of hands. That gives us a platform for next season.
What you need is a platform to build out from. You need a safe pair of feet. You need a safe pair of hands when people are crossing. You need a safe pair of legs sweeping, which I actually think De Gea's sweeping's been really good compared to what it has been this season. Ball playing is still very, very limited. Can't catch a cross. Like, I don't know, man. I think we'd be huge, transformative with a new
that replacement
goalkeeper.
Will cost a lot of money, and also will need an adjustment season. People saying I'll get Costa in from Portugal, like he's going to come in and start playing like David De Gea. This is the guy.
I do think so. Yeah,
knocked
I think
Portugal
this
out of
is
the World Cup
what would
with
happen.
A massive mistake. He will
That's
probably
true.
make mistakes at United. In 2 years, he might be.
Does De Gea not make mistakes right now? Like, come on.
Or in a year, he might be a good goalkeeper, but
Come
I
on.
don't think he will be next season. So
We've seen
I
so
think
many
it's the
this
right
season.
decision for United. And more importantly,
Come on.
I would keep De Gea anyway. I'm a big fan of De Gea. But more importantly, we don't have an endless amount of money, and that money needs to.
This is the biggest point. This is the biggest thing.
£60 million to.
I know that striker's going to be number one. The prices of strikers are ridiculous. You're probably going to have to pay near 100 mil. That's Kane, Osimhen, Gonzalo Ramos, whoever. You're going to have to pay near enough 100 million, like euros, pounds, whatever. You're going to want another centre mid. You're going to want another centre back if Maguire goes. Like McTominay could be going. You want another centre mid. You want to upgrade on Eriksen anyway. It seems like Ten Hag wants another right back. A goalkeeper as well. It's a lot of money. That's the only thing. I think the only player that I would put off getting a goalkeeper for was if we could get Frankie de Jong or Jude Bellingham. Someone crazy like that in midfield who cost a lot of money.
Costa. I'd say, am I still getting a top-class centre-back, midfielder and striker? No. You'll have to miss out on one of them. Forget about it then. I don't want 60 million spent on a goalkeeper.
This is a crazy shout, but I would rather pay less money, get someone like Rasmus Højlund, and get Diogo Costa in, than keep De Gea and get someone like a Harry Kane. That I don't know.
Ten
That
Hag
might be
got to
crazy,
spend
but that's
20
what I
mil for
think.
an attacker, and I think
That's
you've
what I
got to
think.
be realistic. I wasn't completely confident about this. You know, Ten Hag is a very, very good manager, and he may well have said, you know, above everything, I want to get a ball-playing goalkeeper. He might have done that, but I think he's made the right decision, and I'm happy with it. One thing I looked
I mean,
forward
David
to when the
Raya is right
Glazers
there.
have
You
gone
could
is
probably get him
constantly
for about
hearing that
30
there's no
million as
value
well. So
in the
I don't
market,
think it's
says
really that
PQ.
expensive
Well,
for a
look,
good goalkeeper.
no value in the market is a
I don't
word
really agree
even
with
I
it.
don't like. I really hate it, but there is no value in the market for a goalkeeper for Manchester United, and that's got nothing to do with price.
Okay,
There is
carry
always a
on.
limit on what you can spend, and when you're looking to spend
Yeah,
100
this is
million
true.
pounds on a striker, and you're looking to spend, you know, between 50 and 80 on a midfielder, and maybe another 40 on a centre back.
I think we can sell really well though this season, and with the new owners, with like the amortization, however you say it. Like Maguire could be going for decent money. If Maguire doesn't, then Lindelof will probably go. You got potentially one of the right backs. They might not. McTominay, there's interest from Newcastle. We know. Like there's players like Sancho who are on the edge. Like would anyone, if someone bids for him, would you let him go? Like we could actually make some deals happen. And obviously the players like Bailly, I think Dean Henderson will probably be gone as well. Like we're gonna have some money in. We're gonna have new owners. I just don't think someone like Costa's, David Raya's not really that much money. It's not. But I think he might be waiting to get Costa next year. I doubt he'd be available then. I could see someone like Bayern Munich snapping him up.
Shoot to £200 million very quickly.
Or
And
Chelsea
you
even.
want 60
Like,
million
I rate him
spent
that
on a
highly.
goalkeeper. It doesn't
Next
matter
Neuer,
whether
in my
you've got
opinion, is
Qatari
Costa.
ownership, Ineos ownership, or Glazer ownership. We can't just go and spend 260 million quid. So I think that the goalkeeping situation can certainly wait. But we do need to bring a goalkeeper in. We do need to bring a goalkeeper in.
Unless you keep Henderson.
Scott McTominay's viewed at a top price now. Hit the like button. Says.
Are you David De Gea or are you David De Gone?